Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new Skill Capped guide. I'm Carnage and today I am bringing you 10 tips that will easily help you get more kills in Valorant. Whether you're a seasoned FPS player or brand new to the genre, I guarantee you will find some value in this guide. And if I end up being correct about that, consider subscribing to the channel to keep up with the best Valorant content on YouTube. Let's start by going over agent selection and how this can impact your ability to get kills. I think we all know that certain agents are seen as being better at getting kills, so let's talk about exactly what that means. Put simply, there are 4 types of agents in Valorant. There are duelists, initiators, controllers, and sentinels. Each one of these has their own set of skills that makes them useful for a team, but we are going to look closely at the duelist category. This type of agent includes Jett, Phoenix, Raze, and Reyna. All 4 of these agents are great options to pick when trying to get more kills. Phoenix and Reyna both have flashes that can gain you free kills on enemies, Jett has her movement abilities that make her extra deadly, and then Raze can do massive damage with her abilities alone. I would recommend trying out these agents if you are trying to be more kill oriented in your games. Now that you've picked an agent, let's go over a very important topic that not many players think about. This is positioning. Many guides will tell you to get better positioning, but not ever show you how. I'm going to show you exactly how you can change your positioning to get more kills. We're going to use Haven's C-Site as an example for this concept. Many players tend to play angles such as this one, and this can work, but usually players will get 1 kill here and then end up dying. Don't get me wrong, this can work sometimes, but I'm going to show you a better position you can hold. Holding this angle here is much better. The reason this is so much better is because of the areas that you can go to afterwards. After you take your first shot, you can then move over here to peek again from a new angle. Or, depending on the agent and the situation, you can get over to platform and peek again. Having good defensive position is all about holding and peeking angles that your opponent won't expect, and that will help you stay alive longer. You can use this same technique on basically any area of the map as well. The main takeaway that I want you all to have is make sure you can fall off, re-peek, and reposition at any point. Now that you've got positioning down, how about we go over how to actually secure the kills? We are going to be doing this by learning peeking. Peeking in Valorant is a huge topic, which is why we have an entire guide dedicated to it on the channel, but I'll give you the basics. When you peek, you want to try and make sure you are only exposed to 1 angle at a time. Doing this will allow you to take one-on-one fights, which obviously will give you a much better chance of winning compared to a 2v1. One of the common techniques that I love teaching new players for this is jiggle peeking. Jiggle peeking is done by pressing A and D repetitively to barely show your body and peek out. Doing this will allow you to gain information and even take some shots at the enemy. Now, most of the tips so far have been to help you while holding sights, but this one is going to be helpful on all sides. Have you ever been trying to attack a site only to have someone come behind you and destroy your team? You wonder, how in the world did they manage to get there? Well, they flanked, and I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing. Flanking is defined as attacking from more than one side. You can easily learn to do this by playing pretty aggressively some rounds. After you see some enemies on the opposite site, walk through the site that you're on and try to get behind the enemy. Doing this will apply pressure to the other team and result in you getting some free kills. Keep in mind they will start to expect this and watch it, so make sure you stay unpredictable. Also, a quick bonus tip, help your team by watching the flank while they try to attack a site. For tip number 5, we have one that everyone always talks about, crosshair placement. I'm sure you've heard other content creators constantly say, get good crosshair placement, but they never actually show you what that means, or even how to do it. Well, let's start by going over the difference between good and bad crosshair placement. Good crosshair placement is when you put your crosshair in a position that allows you to get kills easier and faster. This can be by looking at head level, watching the right angle, or even just being prepared for the enemies. Bad crosshair placement is when you put your crosshair in a position that forces you to do more work than you should when trying to get the kill. the most important thing to remember when talking about crosshair placement is keeping your crosshair at head level. It seems obvious, but during your games, try to consciously remember to move your crosshair to whatever height an enemy head could possibly be at. Tip number 6 actually expands a lot on crosshair placement. Let's talk about game sense. Game sense is similar to just being aware while playing. This is improved upon a lot by trying to predict where your enemies will be. For instance, let's look at Bind. Let's imagine we just got 2 kills on B site and the defending Brimstone ults Hookah. Well, we're already on site, so we can determine the enemies don't know whether we've actually gotten to site or not because they just used their ult on Hookah. Well, with this info, we can decide to try and push through halls and grab some kills in CT. This is obviously a very specific example, but I want you to see the general point that I'm making. While playing, make sure you're thinking about what is going on and making plays based off of that. This alone can help you rank up no matter how bad or good your aim is. Moving on to tip number 7, let's talk rotations. Rotating is usually looked at as a defensive strategy, but I want to talk about how it can be used on both sides. The basic rotation would be this. One player on defense dies, so a player from the other site comes to fill their position. Then, as the attackers are committing to the site, more defenders rotate. This is the normal rotation setup that the defenders use, but what about attackers? Attackers can also use rotations to get themselves some free plants and hopefully easy round wins. After you get a kill on a player, instead of hard committing to that site, maybe back up and go to the other site. The defense will usually rotate to try and defend the now weakened site, which should allow you to take the other site much easier than you might think. Vary how often you rotate on attack side so the defenders have to stay on their toes while trying to predict where you're going. This leads me to number 8. Learn the maps, angles, and lineups for your agent. Simply going into custom games and learning every area of the map can be extremely useful. Also, try to learn different angles and off angles that you can use to get yourself more kills. Finally, learn lineups and setups for your main agent. On YouTube, you can find plenty of great guides on each agent's lineups and setups. Learning these can be super powerful, especially with agents like Cypher or Viper. Having set lineups that you can use to take sites and block off angles will minimize the number of angles that you have to check. This will lead to you being alive longer and getting more kills. This leads me perfectly into tip number 9, and that is overall ability usage. Using your abilities is obviously an important part of Valorant, and learning how to use all of your abilities effectively will make you a much more valuable team member. A great example of this is Sage. Sage players have a very powerful wall ability that at least stalls the enemies for a good bit. Using this wall as often as you can to slow down the enemies is one of the essential parts of playing Sage. The same goes for Cypher. Getting his abilities down early is crucial to being a good Cypher. Overall, be sure to use your abilities in a way that not only helps yourself, but also helps your team. I recommend watching professional players that main your agent to learn more about when and where you should be using all of your abilities. Finally, play with your team. Tip number 10 is going to be all about trading kills, holding crossfires, and communicating. Valorant is a team-based game, so it needs to be played that way. The first way to easily do this is by trading kills. Put yourself in a position to kill an enemy that kills your teammates. This will help make the game more even and will usually allow you to get a free kill because the enemy won't be looking at you. Holding crossfires is another great way to do this. Holding a crossfire consists of you and one other teammate holding an angle in a way that almost guarantees one of you to get the kill. This will usually end in you picking up a few easy kills on enemies that push because they have to decide who they're going to shoot. And finally, communication. Communicating in Valorant is maybe the most important thing we will talk about this guide. No matter what, try to find a way to make callouts to your team and to listen to their callouts. Even if this means using the in-game ping system. Making sure all of your teammates have all the info possible is crucial to keeping everyone on the same page. Wow, we just went over 10 of the best tips to get yourself more kills in Valorant. Which tip was the most useful for you? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, leave a like, hit that subscribe button so that you can keep up with the most high quality premium guides on YouTube. I want to thank every single one of you for supporting this channel because without you, none of this would be possible. That's going to be it for this one, so good luck, good half, and good game.